Yeah, welcome back to my online class. So this is Neco 2026 Neco Physics practical on mechanics, but this is the what manipulation. I've done the real practical, so if you want to watch it, you can check my channel. So this one, I want to make this one for those maybe in your school they don't have apparatus that they can use to carry out this experiment. So if you are here watching me, this video is for you. Now I want to manipulate without taking a reading from my apparatus. Now for me now, this is my table, this is my mass: 40 grams, 60, 80, 100 and 120. Now what did I do here? I convert this mass in gram to kilogram by dividing it by 1000. So this is my time. I'm going to record my time that is in two ways. So this one is the first one, this one is the second one. So this is the average time, this is my period in seconds, this is my period square in second square. Now most students has been asking for how they can obtain their first constants. Now in this my video, I'll be explaining on how you can obtain your first constant. For now, I'll be using my own first constant to be this in order to calculate the value of my period and the other values. But I'll be teaching you on how you can calculate your first constant. Now, I'll firstly calculate this period square. Now, from the formula which relates period and first constant, that is period equal to 2 pi square root of m over k. Now where m will be our masses. Some people can use this formula to calculate this period first and square it, but me, I'm going to use this formula, which is period square equal to 4 pi square m over k. Now take note, I've splitted them in a simpler way. Pi, what is pi? I'm using 3.1.2. Some can use 22/7. Now square of it, this square of it. Now 4 pi squared. So this is 4 pi squared. This is value. Now for it to be easier, therefore period square whenever you see 39.49 is the same as always 4 pi square. So times m. Our m keep variance. So you keep putting the value of m, but it should be in kilogram. Take note of that, not gram. That is why I converted it to kilogram divided by my first constant. Now I'll start from number one. First, I want to get my t square, the first one. My t square using my formula. What formula will I be using? I'll be referring to this formula. Please take notes. I'll be using this formula here. That is 39. So my t square, the first t square will be 39.49 times. I'll use the first mass. That is 0.04. That is 0.04. divided by my first constant. What is my constant? I'll be using 7.28. Now from here now, I'll multiply this guy first. That is 39.49 times 0.04. So that gives me my t, the first one, t1 square equal to That is 1.5796 divided by 7.28. So when I do this one, so answer divided by 7.28. So that will give me This will give me 0. Let's take note. It must be in 3 decimal points or the 3 decimal place. 16. That is 7. So this will now be 0.217. Take note of that. Now this is for the first one. Now what I will be doing is that I will be inserting the mass. It is the mass that will be changing. Please take note. It is the mass that will be changing. So for the second one, it will be for the second period now. What is the mass? 0.06. I'll change it to be 0.06. So I'll multiply now. That is 39.49 times 0.06. So that will give me It will give me 2.3694. I'll divide it by 7.28. So divided by 7.28, and that will give me It will give me 0.2 0.325, 3 decimal. Please take note of that. Now I also do for the what other one. I'll just change this one. I also do for the other one when the mass is what in kilogram, 0.08. So 0.08. so from here now it should be what I'll multiply the two, that is 39.49 times 0.08. so that will give me what 3.1592 divided by 7.28. so when I divide it, divided by what 7.28, so that will give me what 0.4334, 3 decimal. So that will give me what 0.434. now I'll also do for when the mass is what 0.10. so I'll also do it. I'll multiply these two together, that is 39.49 times 0.10. so that will give me what equal to what, that is 3.949 all over, that is 7, that is divided by 7.28. so that will give me what, okay, let me do it again, that is 3.949 divided by what 7.28, and that will gives me what, that is 0.542, 3 decimal place. So I also do for when the mass is what 0.12. I'll just be changing the mass because this one are constants. So I'll multiply these two together, that is 39.4.7388 divided by 7.28. so we divide it by this one, divided by what 7.28, and that gives me what, that equals what 0.651. so I'll take that to what 0.651. please don't forget, if I want to get my t, because take a look now, the number of oscillation I'm using here is what 20 for 20 oscillation. Therefore, if you remember when you do the what, the real experiment, for us to get t squared, for us to get t, what are we going to do? We divide. T will be what? Like put it, t will be equal to, that is t over n. So don't forget, this t will be equal to what? That is t over n. So it will be in seconds. And the number of oscillation I'm using here is what? 20. Now, if I've put in my own here, I also get t squared. I want to go back to what? T. I divided by time by 20 to give me this guy. Now, in order for me to get this guy back, what am I going to do? I'll multiply this guy by the 20 because I divided this value to get this guy. Now, for me to go back from this guy to this guy, what am I going to do? I'll divide this value by what? 20. So I'll be dividing this value by 20 to get this value back. So I'll start from here. That is what 0.217 divided by 20. So this gives me what 0.01 in 3 decimal, 0.0111. So I'll divide this one also, 0.325 divided by 20. So this will give me what 0.0116. So I will do for this one also I'll do 0.434 divided by 20. So this one gives me what 0.021 divided by 20 also, that is 0.542 divided by 20, and that will give me what 0.0227. From here now I'll also do this one divided by 20, that is what 0.651 divided by 20. So that will give me what 0.032. that is in 3 decimal. Now if I want to get this my time, now this is my time, I can get this my time. This is t equal to what? T1 plus T2 over 2. Now if I want to get this one back, since this one is what, is period, so how do I obtain my period? My period is obtained, okay, oh, there's a mistake here, please. Now I need to get to what now? I need to get the square root of this guy. Why? For me to get this one, because how do I achieve this one? I look for the square of this one. I square this value to get this one. Now I want to go back from here to here, so I'll take the opposite, that is square root. Now in this case, now I'm going to find 217. So that gives me what? 0.46. It should be in 3 decimal 6. I'll do the same thing for this one also. That is 25. So what is the square root? That is 0.570. I also find the square root of this one also. That is square root of 0.434. So that gives me what? 0.659. I look for the square root of this one also. The square root of this one. That is square root of 0.542. So what is the square root? The square root is what? 0.736. I also look for the square root of this one. That is square root of 0.651. So what is the square root? So the square root of this one is what? That is 0.807. So what is the square root? Now I want to get this value now, because how do I achieve this value? I obtain this value by dividing by 20. Now for me to obtain this value now, I'll multiply by 20, because for me to get this period, I divided this my value here. The value I obtained here, I divided it by what? 20 to obtain this value now. Now for me to get this value back, I'll multiply this answer by 20. So from here now, 0.466 times 20, that will give me what? That will give me what? 9.332. Now from here now, I now do the same thing. 0.5570 multiplied by 20. So that will give me what? That will give me 11.4. Now I also do for this guy also 0.659 multiplied by 20. That will give me what? 13.18. I also do for this guy also 0.736 multiplied by 20. That will give me what? 14.72. Do for this guy also. That is 0.807 divided by multiplied by 20. That will give me what? 16.14. Now I'll also get this T1. For me to get T1, I can predict this T1 and compare it with this one. I'll say my T1 should be what? 9.33. So for this one, I'll predict it should be 11. This one should be 2 decimal. To be 0.38. I'll predict this one to be 13.16. I'll predict this one to be what? 14.70. I'll predict this one to be what? 16.14. Now for me to get this one now, because I add these two guys. Now let me give you the sample now. For me to get this guy here, for me to get this guy, so what am I going to do here? T2. If you remember, we said that for me to get T is equal to what? T1 plus T2 over 2. Since I've known T1 now, 2 times 2, T, that is 2T equal to T1 plus T2. I need to get my T2 now. So T2 is equal to what? 2 times this one minus T1. So this is the formula we're going to be using. Now, for me to get T2 now, I'll multiply this value by 2. Multiply this value, multiply by 2. That is 9.32 multiplied by 2. I'll subtract it from this one to get this one. Minus 9.33. That is equal to what? That will give you what? 9.31. I'll do the same to this one. I'll multiply by 2. That is 11.40 multiplied by 2 equal to what? I'll minus this from this one. 11.38. That is equal to what? That is 11.42. I'll do the same thing here. Multiply this one by 2. 13.18 multiplied by 2 equal to what? Subtract it from this value, 13.16, and that will give me what? That is 13.20. I'll do the same thing here. That is 14.7272 times 2 equal to this one minus 14.70. So this one will give me what? That is 14.74. I'll do the same thing till here. 16.14 times 2 equal to what? I'll subtract from this one minus 16.14, and that will give me what? That will give me 16.14. Now this is how you obtain this value. Now lastly, now most students are asking how they can get their key. Now let me now put you through when you want to write Neco, for you to obtain your first constant. This is the value now. This is 39 multiplied by m. What m are you using? Take note, it should be in what? It should be in kilogram. So I'll be multiplying. So this value for the first one, this one will now be what? 39.49 times my first mass, that is 0.04. So equal to, I will divide it by what? My t square. What's my t square here? Divided by 0.217, and that gives me what? This is 7.28. Let me put it through this man. I'll do for the second one also. So this place will now give me what? Second one, that is 39.49 times the second mass, 0.06, equal to, divided by what? My t square for here is what? 0.325, and that gives me what? 7.29. I'll do for the other one also. We just follow this one. This one is constant. That is what? 39.49 times, what is the third mass? 0.08. That is times 0.08 equal to, divided by the period. What period are we dealing with? This is the period now. That is 0.4. I'm coming. That is divided by 0.434. So that gives me, okay, there's a mistake. In the second one, I'm going to the third one now. So this is 39.49. I'll press it, 39.49 multiply. What is the mass I'm dealing with now? 0.08. That is times 0.08. So equal to, divided by my t square. What is my t square here? That is divided by 0.434. And what is my answer? My answer here was 7.2. This one is what? 7.29. This one is 7.30. Yeah. Now I'll pick the other one also, which is what? This value 39.49 times my mass. What is my mass now? 0.1. So 39.49 times 0.1 equal to, divided by my t square. What is my t square here? I'm using what? 0.542. So, and that will be what now? This one will be what? 7.32. Let me take 3 here. So for me now, you see that this is increasing, but like I can put that. I'm not calculating the other one. I just use our predicted at 7.34. Yeah, let me take it this way. So now you want to get your average now. Notice that my average is equal to what? This one, 7.28 plus it with this one, 7.29 plus 7.30 plus 7.32 plus 7.34, all divided by what? You add it, having number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, that's average by 5. So it's not giving me what? Let me push my calculator on. Now 7.28 plus 7.29 plus 7.30 plus 7.32 plus 7.34. So that gives me what? 36.53 all divided by 5. So, and that will be what? I'll divide it by what? 5. That will be what? 7.31. So Can you see now? So this is how you can what? Manipulate it. That's how you can find your what? Your first constant. Many students have been asking me, how can they obtain their what? First constants. So this is how you can go by calculating your what? First constants. And this is how you can go by calculating your T1, T2, the average time or the mean time, and your period, and your what? T square. Please, if you have any question, please you can drop them on my what? Comment section. Please subscribe, share, like, and comment, and may God bless you.